Cheers, everyone. Congratulations for surviving 2020. We made it to 2021, which we're still trying to figure out if it's going to be 2021 or 2020 New Game Plus. I'm just praying for just positive energy and just I hope you guys accomplish all the goals that you have planned for this year. God knows how we survived last year. Anyways, I wanted to make this video because late last year, before we went on holiday, I made a blog post giving you guys a 2020 recap of Samurai Zero. And just to sum this up really quick, I discussed a little bit about all the amazing accomplishments that the team was able to successfully complete in 2020. And at the end of this blog, I hinted at that I was currently building out our production schedule for 2021. And once I was done with that, I was going to publicly share it with you guys. And as I've always said, is this like ongoing agreement of transparency with you guys of how development goes and our highs and our lows. Today, I wanted to share with you guys what that production schedule looks like. This is going to be a pretty simple high level stuff. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but what you guys are going to get is, I think, a really good roadmap of what you can expect this year. So let's get into it. So before we get into the present and the future, I want to talk a little bit about some of the major accomplishments of last year, just to give you an idea of what we're reaching for from our previous set abilities or capabilities. So last year, at the beginning of the year, we actually revealed Samurai Zero. It feels like years ago, but actually, yeah, in January, we actually revealed Samurai Zero. We had the reveal trailer. You guys got to see Ryder and Wraith for the first time. You got to see the actual brand new art, the 3D art, a little idea of what the gameplay was going to be like. You got to see the trailer in its full glory, all in engine and running in Unreal Engine 4. And since that point, we've been developing the game ever since. We finished revealing Toshihiro, which is Ryder's spirit animal. He's fully now in the game, and he's just a bundle of joy. And on top of that, one of the biggest accomplishments that we were able to complete last year was getting an actual demo out there for our Patreon backers and fans. So we actually launched the movement build in October, I think it was, and it was the first time that actual fans of the game and supporters and Patreon fans could actually try out the game and get a feel for the game's movement system. And so this included a tutorial segment and the gauntlet, which was an obstacle course with a leaderboard. And what we got was extremely positive feedback, some great critical feedback as well to help improve the game further, which I can't thank you guys enough for. And on top of that, just the level of engagement for this demo was insane. We kind of felt like people would just play it for 15 minutes and be done with it. But what we found were people spent hours on this demo doing the obstacle course. So we actually found that a lot of people really loved it and really enjoyed it. And while it's still in development and we're obviously still improving and making the game better and better, just seeing that reaction let us know that we were at least on the right track. And then at the tail end of 2020, right as the year was ending, we were actually able to accomplish completing the combat build of the game. So the game actually has its combat engine fully realized. You could actually play an entire match of Samurai Zero right now. And that was fantastic because we thought we wouldn't reach that goal until sometime this year, but we actually were able to complete it way earlier, which is amazing. So now that we got a little bit of underway about about our year one of production, if you think of it like that, where years before, after the Leap prototype, the 2D prototype with Leap, then transformed into Samurai Zero, which then became a 3D game. We spent a couple years in pre-production trying to really figure out what this game was going to be. And last year we spent our first year in pure, full-on, hardcore green light production. Let's talk about what that looks like for year two in development of Samurai Zero. Right? Cool. So the best way I can describe this is if our goal in 2020 was to prove our existence, then in 2021, it's really about defying our limits. 2020, I think it was a success. We proved the game exists. We proved that it has potential, and I think we proved that the game is fun. Even without all of its systems that people were able to interact with yet, fully implemented yet at that time with the movement build, people really, really, really enjoyed it. And now moving into this year, it's all about pushing that limit and really going beyond and really making Samurai Zero into this truly special experience that I've promised for you guys without crunching. So let's talk a little bit about what this looks like, this roadmap for this year. So the roadmap, I broke it up into basically 4 segments or 4 quarters. And this is usually revolving around 3 months within that quarter. So we have winter, spring, summer, and fall. We're right now in the middle of winter, the beginning of winter, which would be January, February, March. And then spring goes April, May, June. And then summer is like July, August, September. And then fall is October, November, December. So yeah, I'm going to explain a little bit of each quarter, what those goals are for each of those said quarters. Again, game development is very fluid, and everything you're about to see from this point on is subject to change. So do not take this as the Bible and it's going to happen at this time exactly. Again, if last year was any indicator, you can never truly predict things, and crazy things can happen. So kind of understand that when I'm explaining everything to you, but I hope this gives you a good idea of what goals we're trying to reach. And it'll be really cool to do a retrospective at the end of the year to see if we were able to reach these goals. So without further ado, let's talk about what's coming up next, almost basically immediately or very soon. So in winter of 2021, I call this, I kind of label it as paths. This is what I call the path of the duelist. Some major stuff here. This is a critical part of development, I think, for the game. And I think a big area that I think a lot of people are really interested in right now for Samurai Zero. So some of the new stuff that's coming to Samurai Zero is first, the brand new first 1v1 map, and right now its dev code name is called Standoff. You saw a little bit of this map, at least a level blackout of this map, in the Art of Combat feature video. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. But if you have seen it, cool, then you got an idea of what it is, but you might not know exactly what this environment's going to be. We plan on right now starting to build out what it is supposed to look artistically like, and actually building those environmental assets, just like how we did with the Gauntlet. We'll start building this. And the cool thing about this map is the Gauntlet level was more of a VR level, so it took place in this like separate entity space. This new level is actually a in-universe location. So you're going to be getting a good idea of what does this world, Samurai Zero, what does the world of Edo look like in certain parts of this world, and how do the characters interact with it, and what lore and Easter eggs are going to be in this level, which I think are just going to be really cool. Number 2, big thing, dedicated server infrastructure. This is huge. A game like Samurai Zero, we really believe that we're going to do things right the first time, and by doing it right, we're going to set up dedicated servers. It's a more expensive option, and kind of accepting that, knowing going into it. But I feel like the pros outweigh the cons. It's worth the cost, because when you're playing a game like Samurai Zero, where we're talking about precision, and we're talking about using sword combat and precise, hit markers or just landing hits on people, and just a better experience overall, I think Samurai Zero having a dedicated server system is the best path forward. There'll also be the idea of creating a private party or private game system as well, so you can use either or system. Third thing, matchmaking system. Of course, right now, you don't know this now, but the way we've been testing Samurai Zero's multiplayer previously was using a IP connect, which is terrible because you don't want to give away your IP to a lot of people. This is why we had to build a dedicated server system. But the new matchmaking system will be up to par of what you expect from just almost every multiplayer game that comes out or has come out in the past like 5-6 years, which is we'll be creating a queuing system where you'll be able to queue up, find other games dynamically without you having to do anything. So you hit this queue button, you wait, and then if someone else in the world is also looking for a game, it's going to connect you guys. That's all we're going to say about the system for now. Obviously, there's more complex topics in regarding about how a matchmaking system is supposed to work, and location and skill and all that jazz. That's stuff that we're going to talk about later down the road. Our main concern about this is just to get it working so that you can at least connect to people, and it feels like a good experience. And number 4, movement 2.0 changes. So based off of your guys' feedback from the Gauntlet build, we got a lot of really good stuff about the movement build. And so we spent some time of the last month really discussing what that feedback actually meant, what did the data tell us, and then making decisions off that. Now, there are specific action items we have made in regards to changing movement and making some adjustments based off of everyone's feedback, but we don't want to publicly today say what they are, because we kind of want to build them out and experiment with them first and make sure they feel good before we tell you what they are, and then we end up building it and it doesn't work out that well. So look forward in the future, probably this month actually, where we'll be at least discussing a little bit more on what those movement 2.0 changes are, and I'll probably showcase them in another presentation similar to this. And then finally, the big nugget right here. What we're aiming for winter 2021 is a brand new demo build called the dual multiplayer demo build. And this is huge. This is the first time you're going to be able to play the combat and the multiplayer, where you'll be able to queue up. You'll be able to fight other people who are also a part of it. We'll probably pick a designated time and date where people will be able to log in and play it. And you'll be able to really feel how basically all these different systems are supposed to be working simultaneously together. And I think it will be the best indicator of like what you can expect of how Samurai Zero is supposed to play. So look forward to that. That's a huge goal that we're aiming for this upcoming quarter. So now that that's done, now that we got Q1 done, let's talk a little bit about the second quarter, which is spring 2021, which I call is the path of the samurai. So this is just content, where this one is really just about adding more content to the game. So what we're looking at is we, in the Art of Combat feature video, at the end of it, if you watched it all the way through, you saw the reveal of Wraith 2.0, or the brand new Wraith. As you know, development changes, and so do character looks and character designs. A lot of times some bigger studios kind of like, they don't really show you some characters until like they're confirming how the character looks. Wraith, for the most part, we were pretty set on his design, but then as I had a conversation with our art director, we kind of felt that he wasn't really hitting on the sort of fantasy that we wanted him to have, which is this sort of like assassin, a stealth assassin type of character. So because of that and the way that he previously looked, we decided on redesigning him, which you can see on the right, and you've seen him now. He's fully 3D. He's in the game. It's really awesome. Our main goal now in spring 2021 is to bring him to the playable state. So right now he's in the game, but he's not fully playable yet, which means he doesn't have all his mechanics hooked up yet. The reason why this is important is, of course, we want you guys to play a lot of these characters early so that we can get feedback and early balancing. But the big thing is that the reason why Samurai Zero took quite a bit of time was because we wanted to spend our time correctly building the foundation of the game, so that when it came to building content for the game, it would be much faster iterations than having to basically change and modify core pillars of the gameplay in order for them to suffice. So we spent a lot of that early time building the foundation of our house, and now the foundation is set. Now when we come to like building like the different rooms, which you could think of them as like samurai, it's going to be way faster to iterate upon them and get them into the game, which I think is going to be really awesome. So Wraith is the next one coming in, and we're going to have him ready by spring 2021. We're hoping, pretty sure this is going to be definitely achievable, because a lot of people have been asking about how other characters are supposed to react, because all you've been seeing right now is Rider. Wraith will be a complete departure from Rider, as in he plays completely different. He's not going to play the same, just like Rider. He has his own abilities, his own play style, and we're really looking forward to showing you guys that, so then you can see how each character will have its own unique look. But that's not all. Not only will there be Wraith, but there'll be a new samurai, which is to be announced very soon. If you're a Patreon person, you probably already know who this person is, but you'll see them as well also being introduced into the game, and we're aiming to have them playable too. So by spring 2021, we're planning on having 3 playable samurai inside the game for the multiplayer that you'll be able to play as. And of course, a brand new map, which right now we're codenaming it as Forest. There'll be more details about this soon. You've probably already seen a good idea of what this map probably is based off of the reveal trailer, but due to how we've changed the game has evolved over time, we feel like we need to go back and change a couple of the maps to make them fit the new gameplay mechanics really well. So now that we're done with spring 2021, let's move into the summer. So if all goes according to plan, then we move into the path of the code, which is summer 2021. And with this comes a big feature of the game, which is the RPG mechanics of the game. So I've talked about how Samurai Zero is this very weird shampoo of different types of genres and mixes. And one of the things I've said, I've kind of tried to push harder, is this it's this sort of like multiplayer tactical action RPG. And you might be saying, well, I've seen a lot of the action, but where does the RPG come in? Is there loot in the game? So I just want to say now is that this system is not a loot system. Samurai Zero does not have a loot system. Will never have a loot system. It's not like a Destiny or a game where you have to get loot and like level up a character. It's nothing like that at all. What we're talking about when we're talking about this code system is we're talking about build diversity. We're talking about giving you RPG mechanics that allow you to customize your samurai the way that you like, to customize their playstyle, and to create basically your own unique identity with this character. That's the best way I'm going to describe it right now, because again, a lot of this right now is written down, but we haven't gotten to the actual implementation part. So this system could definitely change if we realize it's a little bit too too crazy, but I have confidence that that it will be ready by this time, or at least a first iteration of it for a character, and we can show it off to you guys. And I think it's going to be really cool. So look forward in the future about more details about the samurai code system. I think it's really one of the most unique aspects of this game. It's one of the core tenets of the game that I think are really going to bring out the replayability and the skill of the game, and the ability for players to theorycraft and really come up with some really cool, amazing plays for the game. And on top of that, not only that, we're also going to drop 2 more additional samurai into the game. So like I said previously, we had Wraith and another samurai coming in the previous quarter, and in this quarter we're going to drop 2 brand new ones, which have both and in this quarter we're going to drop 2 new samurai, both of which have not been announced yet, but they're awesome. I really think you guys are going to love them. And then another thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing a UI overhaul. Right now, basically, we tore out the main menu system because basically we need to overhaul it in regards to the multiplayer system with the servers. So we're going to be looking at overhauling that UI. Right now, just look kind of like meh right now, but over time, we're going to overhaul it and make it look really pretty for you guys. And then finally, to wrap up the year, fall 2021, we'll call this Path of the Flower. This is the big one right here. Another playable samurai will enter the game, Luna. You already saw her. She was revealed at the beginning. You might be wondering, well, if you already have her kind of already in existence from the beginning of the year, why is she the last one that's going to be put into the game of the year? Development. There's stuff we want to change about Luna, kind of similar to Wraith. As the game has developed, we really started to get these very important identities for each of the characters. And as you can see on the right, this is what Luna looks like, and she'll look like at the end of the year. It's just more of, we want to make sure she pulls closer to her concept art than what she currently looks like. So we're going to go back to the polishing board, and we're going to polish her up and make her really awesome with everything that we've learned from the past year with Ryder and for Wraith and for all the other samurai as well. So look forward to Luna. She's honestly one of my favorite characters. I can't stress enough. I can't wait for you guys to see her gameplay. She's really awesome. Second thing that a lot of people asked about, cosmetics. By the end of this year, we're hoping that we'll be at least be having a sort of conversation and at least an idea of what the cosmetic system for Samurai Zero will look like. This might involve a little bit of like what we think monetization should look like for the game, but mostly it'll just be what type of cosmetic customization will you have for your account and for your characters. And hopefully maybe we might actually have an example ready for you guys so that you guys will be able to see it. New map called Cascade. That's all we'll say about it for now. New map will be coming, so like I said, you're going to get more content basically added to the game as time goes on. And then finally, the big boy, the team fight multiplayer alpha. So from that point, at the end of the year, we will no longer be doing demos. We will be in alpha mode, which is where the game will then move from a sort of pre-alpha phase to then being a straight up alpha. And then I think from that point on, then you kind of can guess how we're moving towards that big question of when's the release of Samurai Zero? When's Samurai Zero coming out? You know, you can start to make some good, I don't know, ballpark estimates on when you think the game's going to come out. So this is it. This is the plan. This is the game plan moving into 2021. Like I've always said, the roadmap is always subject to change. Make sure you check out roadmap.samuraizero.com for moment-to-moment updates on where we currently are in development, what's currently being worked on, what's already completed, so you can know where we are at any moment. And as I've said at the beginning of this whole entire thing, game development is a fluid process. It's not something that I can go into the future and predict. This is just from my experience of seeing the speed of how our team takes to develop certain things. It's helped me make better estimates over time of what we're able to accomplish, where we're really strong, where we're weak. And I think that these are things that we can definitely accomplish into this new year. Like I always say, always forward. It's important to see all the amazing things that we did in 2020, but I'm pretty sure no one wants to remember anything that happened in 2020. I don't either. And I'm really looking forward to really just showing you how we defy our limits this year. I want to just thank everyone from the Patreon, people who've supported us for such a long time. You guys are amazing since the beginning of this year. Really, I can't stress enough. You guys mean the world to me. For any of you guys who bought merch, to those of you who just follow us on social media or follow me on Twitch or support me or follow the team or anyone else on the team, I'm really, really appreciative to you guys, to everyone on the development team. You guys are phenomenal. This dream that I had about this game would never have been even plausible without them. And I'm so grateful that we just have so many amazing and talented people who see the vision for this game and really believe it can be something special. So make sure you guys check it out, samuraizero.com. You can find more information about the game there. the website should be getting a facelift very soon. So if you're interested, make sure you guys check out the other devlogs are also on the channel, this channel. So if you're interested in learning more about how we've developed the game over this year, you can check it out all there. If you're interested in learning more about the combat system, you can check out The Art of Combat. It's on my channel right now. That gives you a very good little deep dive on the current combat engine of the game. It's really cool. Shows you actual gameplay. Everything you see is gameplay. No smoke and mirrors here, guys. It's all here. It's all real. And I think this is really going to be seriously one of the coolest indie games you're going to play whenever it comes out. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for your guys' support. I'm sorry it's a pretty long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure you guys like this stuff anyways. My name is Ethos. I'm going to go back to developing games, and I'll see you guys later. All right? Peace out, guys. Peace.